The ANC has turned the tables on a DA-led coalition at the 11th hour to clinch the eThekwini mayorship for Mxolisi Kaunda. His victory is said to have been secured by the roping in of Abantu Batho Congress President Philani Mavundla, who was elected deputy mayor last night. The IFP and the DA have alleged that Mavundla received money from the ANC, and that was in exchange for his party's backing, which the ANC denies. For more on what happened and, more importantly, what the future looks like, let's bring in Philani Mavundla himself, who joins us now via our video link for his version of events. And Bab Mavundla, it's great to have you on the program, sir. Thank you so much for making time. I guess, all things said, congratulations are in order, but I can't help but wonder if the mayoral chains are weighing heavy on you this morning.
Not at all. Good morning to the listeners. No, not at all. I mean, for me, it's just as business as usual.
So let's jump straight into what the allegations are and what you make of it. I mean, on Monday, it had been quite clear who you might be voting for. In fact, you had spoken to our colleagues in the industry saying after the meeting was disrupted at Moses Mabhida Stadium that the ANC needs to be voted out. What changed between Monday and yesterday?
Right. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Let's put it into context. On Monday, we went to Moses Mabhida looking forward to have to participate in what was happening, that being inauguration of the executive and then the mayor, and then set up the leadership of eThekwini municipality. When we got there, it was very clear that we just not gonna do anything on our own, because if you remember, my name was raised as a speaker of the council. I had 33 votes. The DA had 63. The ANC had 103 votes. And then they managed to get the speaker in. We then decided, if we are sitting in silos, we're not going to get anywhere. We created what I would call a marriage of convenience at that particular time. We roped in the EFF. Remember, the AFP did not vote with the ANC at that point. So we roped in the EFF, we roped in the AFP, we roped in the DA. We agreed that let's go for it. But before we got to that, I've been talking as ABC with all the political parties. I spoke to the DA, I spoke to the ANC, I spoke to the IFP, I spoke to the EFF. In all this discussion, we told them what our demands were. For instance, we asked the DA to sponsor us the EXCO seat. That was a week ago. They made it abundantly clear that they are not prepared to give us that. It belongs to their members. We said it's fine. And let me tell the citizen why we asked for this. As a block of, call it, if you put all of us together, 18 seats that we have in the council, we felt that we need to have a seat in EXCO. Otherwise, you go in there as smaller parties. The only time you sit in the council meeting is after 3 months, because remember, the councillors only sit quarterly, which means you sit times a year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't know what is happening in the council. That was the reason why we demanded an EXCO seat.
So if I can come in there,
we couldn't get it.
Right. So quite frankly, and I'm just conscious of time, if I can come in there, Mavundla. So quite frankly, yes, you're admitting this morning that the way you voted yesterday had to do with just getting this seat in the EXCO. That's really the nub of the issue.
No. It didn't have to do with the seat in the EXCO. The seat in the EXCO was the start of the work that we really want to go and do in Durban, which you couldn't do unless you ended the executive committee meeting. That's where it started.
Right. So, okay, that was certainly a part of it, and it's important to highlight this. We'll come back to it in some respects, because if any kind of work is going to be done in eThekwini, the question then becomes what difference would that work be like if you partner with a government that's been in charge for all this time but seemingly hasn't been able to achieve much? In other words, what makes you think that the ANC is the partner to be with in order to get this work done, given the ANC's track record?
Let me, again, just, especially the people of Durban, let me give them comfort in this, because it's important maybe for people to understand it doesn't end there. Amongst our demand that we put to the ANC in Durban is that EXCO seat doesn't go as an EXCO seat only. We are honest people, we need to be honest with it. It goes with the deputy mayor which we've got. That deputy mayor doesn't end there. Those who live in Durban will understand. In the deputy mayor's position, you've got 3 responsibilities, being the metropolis, being the budget, being the disaster. We said those 3 responsibilities, we don't want it. It must be put into another committee. The committee that will fall under the deputy mayor is an infrastructure committee, which has got the roads, which has got human settlement, which has got water. Now, as far as we are concerned, those are service delivery issues that if they fail in Durban, I myself as Philani Mavundla and the collective there, I'll have failed 100%. So basically, part of what we wanted was simple to go and give the people service delivery. And if it doesn't happen, we must raise our hands and say, we have failed. Now, we've got that committee. Now, people can say anything else, but we went there with their interest in our hearts.
Were you or anybody in this block of 18 offered money as part of this package to vote with the ANC?
Right. Thank you for this question. It's very, very important to demystify this, and I hope that the other media house are listening so that they can put the true story outside there. Now, this week, Shwane changed hands from where it was. Something happened there. Ekurhuleni, the same thing happened. And then in the city of Johannesburg, the same thing happened. Now, it will be unfair to throw the question to you because you're asking me. I think it will better save South Africa if we can go to the DA, because they're the one who issued the statement, and ask them that in order for them to take the municipality from Zwanzile in Ekurhuleni or out of the ANC in the city of Johannesburg, did they pay? Why is it different now when we have saved the situation in eThekwini that and then Mavundla has been paid? Now, I need to tell those who are not aware of this. I am not a hungry man. I've worked since I was 12 years old. I'm still working until this day. There's no man that buys me my lunch. Now, I can't see ANC affording to buy me with anything. I've got a lot of my own differences with the ANC. Most of it is documented. So I don't see myself being their friends. I'm there for a purpose that I promise our supporters as APC and the other 18 parties. That's where we are. So the answer is, I'm not aware of anyone in the ANC in eThekwini that really can afford to buy a PG Mavundla. I'm really not aware, and that is not the case. The DA is making it an issue, but we're definitely going to look into it, and we'll ask them to give us any proof that they have that I've been paid a cent.
All right. So to be clear, the answer really is no.
No.
Right.
I haven't been paid anything. We never discussed any money. To be quite frank with you, the discussions went over 2 days when we were discussing this. From that Monday, the discussion went on until yesterday, 7:30. It wasn't easy. If it was a bag with money, it shouldn't have gone that long. And it has to take the senior leadership of the ANC to come into the party and admit on a number of issues, because what I think the DA leadership in KZN don't understand is that I'm not just another councillor. I want to make this clear.
Yeah, sure.
I'm the president of Abantu Batho. I was put in this position by 500 delegates who were in the conference in Newcastle. APC has contested 7 provinces of the 9 provinces in South Africa. In KZN alone, we've got 24 votes. So it's not going to help them to wish me away. I'm here to stay. And since I'm now part and parcel of the leadership of eThekwini, in eThekwini we're going to have a government of the people that is going to deliver to the people of eThekwini. The ANC will need to throw away its hat, the APC will throw away its hat, and the DA need to do the same and join the chorus that we're going to go there, sort the water issue, sort the potholes in the street, and stop the rot of the corruption. That is what needs to happen. And I'm not negotiable for that because I've got no benefits out of it.
So no money, according to you, left the ANC's pockets to your pockets. Has any money left your hands to anybody else to pull off yesterday's deal?
There's one thing that I think the South African need to understand with me. The reason I've managed to pull the small parties together is simply because most people believe in things that I said, that normally I don't do the opposite. If I promise something, that is going to get done.
Did you not promise your, sorry to interrupt you there, did you not promise the people who you were campaigning to that you'd also vote the ANC out during your electioneering?
Yes, I did.
But that didn't seem to have taken place yesterday, with your help.
But let me explain to you, as we speak right now, the ANC is not fully in power in Japan. Mavundla is part and parcel of that government. So therefore, the people are part of it. The ANC doesn't have a complete rule of eThekwini.
They have a pretty important strategic position, though. I think you and I will admit that much. It's difficult not to look at this and not also to imagine the mammoth task that lies ahead, Mr. Mavundla. I mean, you are getting into a 5-year term with all these allegations around, and granted, the burden of proof perhaps is on those who are making the allegations to begin with, but it's certainly not an ideal start, especially when you consider the work that needs to be done in eThekwini.
Let's start from here. I think I'm a quite senior citizen in this country, in a sense that I've done a few things. I've done projects that are still standing there that people can still see without any shred of corruption. Let's start from there. Let's understand. Even those who try to muddy it, it was proven that there is no such. Let's start from there. Now, I'm going into the city knowing exactly what has happened in which department and what department. And my aim is very simple. It is to sit down with the senior leadership of the ANC and say to them, in order for the people of Durban still to have their hope in us, what is really your intention? Because these are my intentions. And we're going to do this in closed doors, and we'll go out and tell the people what we're going to do. I am serious about it, and the people must just trust me. They trusted me before. I've delivered, and I'm saying I'm going to do exactly the same. And I don't need a cent from no one.
Very quickly, a yes or no answer. If it is established before the end of the 5-year term that you have failed to deliver on that promise, are you willing to step down?
I won't even wait for the 5 years. The first year should be able to tell us what we have delivered or we have not delivered. The first year should tell us. And people will also judge us come 2024 if we're not doing as much as we're expected to do.
Philani Mavundla, thanks very much indeed for your time. Really do appreciate your version of events. Philani Mavundla is the Deputy Mayor-elect, officially now, of the eThekwini municipality, also happens to be the president of the Abantu Batho Congress. Once again, thanks very much indeed for your version of events.